Beloved, I welcome you once again to another edition of On the Other Side. I've been showing you the things that some people exhibit in this physical world that have different meanings, different interpretations on the other side in the spiritual spectrum. What I want you to keep in mind, always you shouldn't forget, is that the Lord wants me to show you a scenario that we human beings are standing in the middle of two spirits. I said God is on one side and all demons or all evil spirits are also on the other side. So we, the human beings, are the recruiting center. Don't forget this picture at all. That will let you know where you stand, and that will let you understand your actions and inactions. That will let someone know which side you are, whether you are on God's side or you are on demons' side. How you appear, how you exhibit your characters should depict or should tell which side you are. This picture should always be on your mind. Don't forget that picture. Having said that, it is that picture, this picture that I've just painted to you, that is what Apostle Paul wanted the believers then and now to understand, that every human character is either from God's side or from demons' side. I've said what I'm going to say before, and I'm going to say it again. There is no human character that is of the person's own volition. There is no human character that is of the person's own volition. What I want to understand is that no human being is exhibiting his own characters. That is what I want you to understand. There is no character of your own, simply put. You don't have your own character. Either your characters in humanity are from God, or your characters are from demons. That is what I want you to understand. The reason being that we are standing in the middle of two spirits. So we are influenced by either of them. That is what I want you to understand. If you don't understand this, and you think you are a human being, and as some people put it, my life, I am living my life. It's very funny. You don't have any life. In fact, what you call your life is the breath given to you by God. So you don't have any life. You are living God's life. You are living God's life. So you don't have any life. Then come to think of the characters you exhibit. You don't have any characters of your own. Let me say something for you to understand again. Human beings are free agents. I'm saying it again. Human beings are free agents. You either carry the characters of God or you carry the characters of demons. So you don't have any character of your own. Okay? Okay. Having understood that, let me proceed. Now, that is what Apostle Paul wants all of us to understand. That if you exhibit certain characters in this physical world, on the other side, in the spiritual spectrum, it will tell whether you are on God's side or you are on demons' side. That is what I want you to understand. Okay. So, it is from this backdrop that I began to show you some characteristics in this physical world and where they are or where they belong in the spiritual world, either on God's side or on demon's side. So, I started reading from Galatians chapter 5, verse 19 onwards. Apostle Paul started by mentioning certain characteristics. And in the last episode, what I was talking about was fornication. He started by adultery. Then the second one was fornication. That was what I was dealing with in the last episode. And in the last episode, I said fornication is a spiritual illegality. Get that one deeply into your spirit. That fornication is spiritual illegality. It is something illegal, even in this world and also in the spirit. And I said, today's youth are playing with fornication because no one is telling them, no one is teaching them to understand that if you exhibit characteristics of sexual immorality in the spiritual realm, you are on demon's side. You are not on God's side. That is what I want you to understand. So, if you profess to be a child of God, don't fornicate because it's spiritual illegality. You can only touch, you can only have intimacy with the person you are married to. That is what I want you to understand. It baffles me that you say you are a Christian. You are the one proclaiming to be that. Okay? But you don't understand this simple thing that is in Galatians chapter 5, verse 19. It denotes that you don't know God. You don't read His word. You are doing your own thing. As I told you earlier, that you say you are living your own life. If you are living your own life, you are not a Christian. We Christians understand that Galatians chapter 2 verse 20 says that the life that we live is not our own lives. It is Christ who lives in us. So if someone lives in you, you are carefully carrying his life so that you don't offend him. But today, fornication is in the church. People are fornicating with their girlfriends and boyfriends, and their so-called pastors don't preach about it. I told you last time that there are some preachers who say they don't allow, they forbid the word fornication in their pulpits or in their churches It is something that they will not allow you to talk about. Why? They are pleasing the youths in their churches. They want them to fornicate. They want them to defile their bodies so that God will reject them. So if you go to any church and there's fornication and the pastor is aware and he doesn't address it, I tell you, leave that church, because it's not God's church. That is what I was talking about last time. As I continue today, let me pick another thing Apostle Paul talked about in Galatians chapter 5, verse 19, that if you exhibit that character, you are not on God's side. You are on demons' side. Okay? The next thing that Apostle Paul talked about was or is uncleanliness. Uncleanliness. That is not being clean. Simple. Many people don't know that uncleanliness is a demon. I told you that I know demons like my underwear. I know them very, very, very well. That is why the Lord wants me to teach you about them. Okay? Uncleanliness is a demon. When that demon is in you, you are unclean, spiritually and physically. When you have that demon, before I continue, I want you to understand that you are not on God's side. And this demon that I'm going to talk about is in many people, especially in the educational circles. In the academia, I tell you, this demon is there. When we go to campus, many people are studying, and because they are studying, this demon has entered them. A lecturer, I know a professor who does not brush his teeth. I was talking to him and I was shocked. His teeth were yellow, very yellowish. You see, he's studying, he's teaching, he's lecturing. So he has no time for himself. Some even don't have time to go to the barber. Some don't have time to shower. They smell very badly. Why? He has that demon of uncleanliness inside him. When you come to students, my goodness. Hey, sometimes it's difficult when such a student sits by you on campus. Smells very badly. Today, both the male and females, they smell terribly. And you ask yourself, why? Don't they smell themselves? That they are smelling very bad? Why? When you have that demon, you don't care. Go to campus and check if what I'm saying, I know what I'm saying. It's my personal experience. And you can testify, that is true. Students don't shower. When that demon is in you, you are very smelly, so you don't shower. You don't have time to shower. You'll be sitting behind a computer the whole day and no shower. Smells very badly, but he doesn't care, or she doesn't care. You have this demon. No shower. Your clothes also stinks badly. A lecturer can wear one dress for 1 month. A student can wear one pair of jeans for 6 months. Today, what has become fashion in their eyes is to sag their trousers, and their underwears are very dirty. You know, when this demon is in you, you don't care of how smelly you are. You don't care. No shower. You look very ragged, very unkept. They don't shave, and they don't care. Hey, some of them have bushy hairs, and it's very, very unkept, very badly. They look like mad people. Do you know why mad people are like that? It's because when you get mad, that demon comes to live in you. And when that happens, the madman, everything about the madman stinks. The hair is unkept. The clothes are smelly and dirty. And the body also smells, and it's very dirty. That the environment is also dirty. It is the doing of this demon that I'm talking about. So if someone exhibits these characteristics, then you know that, hey, this is the demon that Dr. Kuuku talked about. That is how it is. Your body is unclean. Your clothes are smelly and dirty. You don't shower. Your environment is also unclean. That is how it is. When you visit such people in their homes, you'll be shocked. The whole place looks very dirty. I visited a preacher some years ago, and I was shocked. I asked myself, hey, you are preaching, but you don't know that you have this demon. You see, many preachers are also like that. Preachers who smell very badly. They don't shower. They wake up in the morning, they will be walking around, and in the night they go to sleep. Hey, Mr. Preacher, stinking, smelling preacher. Don't you know it's a demon? They don't know. Smell very badly. So that is what I want you to understand. Onia, asemwa me kanise. Wo ewiase ha no. Nyame pese metwa mfoni bi ede kyerɛw. Na se unsa mfoni no a. Ore mfi hu da. Obeti nsɛm a mekyerɛ no wo fidie so yi ase papa. Na obehunu baabi a onso so ugyina. Mfoni no a megusu twa kyerɛ wo a mese ema ore mfi ni sɛ enipa da sani a wo ka ho bi no. Ye gyina honhom bienu antem. Hom kronkron ewo nifa. Ena hom bɔne nyinaa nso so ewo bonkom. Enti ye nipa no ye gyina mfimfini. Eno na me ka mo ate ase sɛ nipa da sani bia ni hɔ a ɔde ɔno ankasa suban enam ebi ni wiase a. Ho nipa ɔka we kyerɛw. Sɛ me se nipa bia ni wiase ha ɔde ɔno ane suban enenam ebi de ɔsa. Sɛ nyɛ sɛ wodi nyame suban enenam a na wodi ahommɔne suban enenam. Enti yɛn sɛ yɛ nipa da sani no yɛyɛ asianamufo edi ma nyame anaasɛ ahommɔne. Obia tumi fa yɛn edi yɛn yɛ deɛ ɔpɛ. Egyina deɛ wo nipa no wopɛ sɛ ɔfa wo ɛso. Na ensusu esanse nipa nti wo yasinti wobɛti na obi ka me life mabrabo me mabrabo woni abrabo bia hwɛ yen se ye dipa ye ni hwe ye ni hwe de o frɛ no wo abrabɔ ana wo nkwa no ɛyɛ home a efiri Nyankopɔn nkyɛn na de ma wo edi wo ni hwe ne wo si ɛyɛ wo de ado efiri Nyame ho ye wi a ne aba wo suban no saa suban no a wo da na di na obeti o se me de saa na betie no wo yɛ sere kyerɛ sɛ ɛnyɛ saa na Nyame wo na wo tie ahombɔne atiw mu no nti na ama wo te saa nti mene sɔfo a meka nipa te suban ase me kasa me nipa wo suban a atiw mu na wasesa firi ho ɛno na mpɛsɛ sɛ wote wo ase a saa suban a woda na die no ɛno na bɛkyerɛ sɛ sunsum mu no wo Nyame afa anaasɛ wo ahombɔne afa nti ɛno na nɛ meka sɛ wate saa asɛm yi ase no ɛna mese da no na mekyerɛkyerɛ sɛ ɔsomafo Paul na ɔpɛ sɛ agyidifoɔ no te aseɛ sɛ suban biara a nipa da na die no ɛkyerɛ baabi a nipa korɔ no ɔwɔ sunsum mu ɛno nti da no mede adwaman anaa adwamanbɔ ɛna meka ho asɛm wokɔ Galatifoɔ nwoma no ti enum kyekyɛmu dunkron a ɔsomafo Paul hyɛ aseɛ sɛ ɔbobɔ saa suban no bi ɛso ɛno na mede kyerɛ wo sɛ saa suban no sɛ woyɛ bi a aseɛ kyerɛ sɛ sunsum mu no wowɔ adammɔ ne afa na adwaman no a da no na meka ho asɛm no na meka sɛ nnɛ mmeranteɛ ne mmabaawa no wɔn de dware wɔn nte aseɛ adɛnti a deɛ efrɛ no sɔfo no ɔnkyerɛkyerɛ wɔn aseɛ na ɛbɛyɛ dɛn ɛna wafrɛ wɔn kristoni na asɛm a ɛwɔ Galatifoɔ nwoma ti num kyekyɛmu dunkron na wo sɛ wonte aseɛ no ɛkyɛ sɛ wonyɛ kristoni nso nnɛ mmeranteɛ ne mmabaawa mese adwaman no ɛyɛ adeɛ sunsum mu ɛnyɛ ne kwan so ɛnyɛ ne kwan so ɛde kyerɛ sɛ ɛnyɛ Nyame ɛna de ne ma wo nso nnɛ asɔfoɔ foa so onim paa sɛ aberanteɛ ne mprɛni ɔne ne dabɔ mu ɔmobɔ adwaman nso ɔnka hwee ɛno na da na metuofo sɛ wokɔ asɔre bi na te saa gyaekɔ na ɛnyɛ Nyame asɔre na ɛno na ɛnɛ nso mefa ade foforɔ na mede atuofo sɛ wofiri adwaman no a adeɛ biewu a ɔsomafo Paul ka ho asɛm a woyɛ bi a ɛkyerɛ sɛ wowɔ adammɔ ne afa ɛyɛ efi na nipa pii nim sɛ efi ɛyɛ honhom ahombɔne deɛ menim wɔ mo papapapapapa sɛ mamo aseɛ Nyame ama mahu wɔn ɛno nti na ɔpɛ sɛ mekyerɛkyerɛ wo nnwuma homa wo mu no wate nti makyerɛ wo sɛ efi ɛyɛ honhom na saa honhom yi ɛteɛ sukuufoɔ mu papapapapapa wokɔ suapɔn mu a suapɔn mu akyerɛkyerɛfoɔ no bebree hɔ a ɛsiane sɛ wɔresua deɛ ɔrekyerɛ adeɛ na ɔnni adagye nti no efi ti ne mu papapapapa suapɔn mu okuni kyerɛkyerɛfoɔ baako mede ne kasa no ne sɛ nyinaa porɔ afei mi sɛ Awurade wede ayɛ den ne si aporɔ ɔnni adagye korɔ de twitwiri ne se ɛsi nyinaa ayɛ kɔɔ na ebinom koraa deɛ ɔnni adagye mpo a ɔde kɔyɛ ne ti n'anim nyinaa fu tantantan nti sɛ fi no ɛte wo mu a wonni wo ho ni koraa sɛdeɛ honhom ne teɛ no saa na wo soso teɛ wotiri ho ayɛ fi wayɛ te sɛ bɔdamfoɔ w'anim ayɛ basaa wontwitwiri wo se ne mmɔtoɔ mu koraa onyi hyɛ sɛ ne ho ntutuo na atade ayɛ fi na emu so bɔn emu wɔ nka ɛmfa ne ho koraa na wokɔ ne dɛm so deɛ a ɛneɛ na asɛe The demu yina ye fi. Oni adaje odi siesie ho. Oti mfutrom. Oti fim. Uwura ne ka mu a ebe wawa. Wadidi egu ka no. Obi amprai. Fi no ne nka no e wo ka no. E kire sa honhom no. Eti no mu. Na oba disuafo mu dia ene na asai. Obi wo a baby esuade no. Obetra wo nchen ya. Ohwene ebesi. Ohwene besi sesi a. Je se onware. Obi timi hye atade baako bese na wotwe. Ebi kura abosome na da hye no. Ene de abetomu a. Eye o mo se eno na abaso a efe. Ubeshia na watwetwe ne trousers no aba fom. Na mo asere nyina te ho. Adan hyasere te ho. Na ye fi tan. Nso mfa no. Adentia. Esa hu ya me ka ho asem ya. Se sa hu me ti mu a. O ti se bodamfo. O so obi bodam pe. Na sa hu me friend fi nso abawura no. Eti bodamfo ni trimu onware. Enti di tri na hyase mamu bon. Na ye basa. Enne da me ka kire o se sa fi ni ti mu a enne me ma no fi se eye o ma dwin se de abasa on so antru se bodamfo e fi no na nim basa ne on tutu pa ne ma de me na o ba bi twa me ho nan se mi se Ewurade o ba pa na ho on ka sei adai e fi na tinimu wow na tade aye fi ukone demo a ho fi ni paso tantai wa tutu tade agu o e fi na sofo bi kura so ye fi on se o frene o sofo eso ni masema mekan esunu se wa fa bible akuta na o kan nyamsem ena sunu se nyame afrew se nyame ofrew a o ba hu ni tamfo aya damoni na watimi atu nkrofofo afa wo ho na watimi agina yi eti sofo kura o kan nyamsem no nyame mfra no nti efi ni bitidimo bini masofo bebre o mu da o mu nware bini masofo a o sori anopa o nware on nam ho saa na ade asa no asa akoda obi kura o anye na ni ene kura mi sori e mi nware yo no okan wo so ye sofo na wo kan se boy ene kura mi nware e fi na tinimu ntia na sofo na fi tinimu na wo asafo ba obeda aboa ama wo so what ntia sofo because sofo be them be who adam say sofo adai ni dem fi o yirenso fi tinimu tia mfano akoda junso aguso fam pampasa edi abo akoda ma wajane na agumu ayi nka na da ha chese ahomete fi na ti enipa ti samu enu nti onua enne de mpesa oti ase no se efi ewo ho a ho ne pasa uni nyame afa uwo adamoni afa. So beloved, that is what I want you to understand. If you are dirty and smelly, you have the demon called unclean in you. Unclean. If that demon is in you, you are very smelly and unkempt. And that shows that you are not on God's side. You are on demon's side. So, don't be smelly. Don't be dirty. Don't be unclean. If you profess to be a child of God. I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.